I have a tiny little student loan that still has 15,000 on it to pay. Maybe we could throw that in the mix instead of
Listen.
the car question.
All right. I'm going to put something on the screen about a student loan. When I came, my wife was involved with the students when we came here. I did a presentation over at Edwards Hall, for the guys over there.
Hmm.
And you know what I titled the talk? It was Your Parents Are Spending Your Inheritance on Interest. Listen, I had them for 45 minutes on the edge of their seats.
That is funny.
All right.
They went home quickly.
Yes. And so one of the guys came up to me and says, after he graduated from Oakwood University, he came up to me and says, listen, I got a job and I'm buying this car and I have a student loan and I want to know how to pay off my student loan and my car. But he was fortunate enough, his student loan was $9,500, not $95,000, $9,500 at 6%. And he had a income-based payment of $50 a month. Are you following me, Miss Anthony?
Okay.
All right. So here's what happened. And so I got $9,500 on the screen at 6%, $50 a month. So, Miss Anthony, if you were to guess, how many years do you think it should take to pay off $9,500 at $50 a month at 6% interest? What's your guess?
Maybe 100 years?
Okay, well, not quite 100, but it will take 50. 601 payments to pay off $9,500. The reason why is because of that, the bank wants $20,550 interest on that loan. $20,550 interest on a $9,000 loan. Total interest paid as a percentage of principal, not 6%, but 216.316%. That's what's going on. So he says, what am I going to do then? I said, well, let's take a look at your amortization schedule on this loan. On his very first $50 payment, only $2.50 went to principal, $47.50 went to interest. What do you think about that?
It seems a little unfair.
Okay, a little. Here's what we've got. Guess what happens the next month? Instead of $2.50 going to principal, because every month you're in this loan, more money goes to principal, less money goes to interest. Okay. So then very next month, guess what happens? $2.51 goes to principal, $7.49 goes to interest. The next month, it gets a little better. $2.53 goes to principal, while $47.47 goes to interest. That's what's going on when we make these minimum payments. Would you like to know how we show the young man how to beat the system, pay off this loan and his new car, not in 50 years, but in 3?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so here's what we're looking at. So when you make your very first payment of $50, let's call that January. Your February principal payment is $2.51. Okay. My question is, do I have to wait till February to give the bank that $2.51?
No, you could pay it earlier.
Okay. So if I pay it in January, I'm paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule in January. My next student loan, because of that, is actually on line 3. I skipped line 2 for only $2.51 because I paid it early. Did you know that?
I didn't. So you don't have to request that it goes on your principal.
Not
you
on,
just pay it early and it goes on there?
Yep. Not on a student loan. You don't have to make that request. There's only one place to put it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Okay. So what would happen if I make my regular payment of $50 and I take a look at the principal payments on the next 3 payments? $2.51, $2.53, and $2.54. Okay. A little over $7 or so on top of principal. Guess what? I skipped the principal payments on line 2, 3, and 4. It's about $150 I save by giving the bank a little over $7 early.
And that's still in January.
That's still in January. So
now, are you giving it throughout the month, or are you giving it at the same time?
You can give it to them all at the same time, as long as they get it before the next month. And that's just $7. I don't see why you'd spread it out. Okay. How's that sound?
So far, my interest is peaked.
Okay. Would you like to hear something better?
Let me have it.
All right. In 1 year, looking at cumulative principal, following the bank's program of paying, about $2.50 a month on principal, they will pay this loan down by $30.84. Just $30.84 goes to principal, while $569.16 goes to interest in the first year. That's why it takes so long. Okay. Now, here's my question to you. If I already know that I'm going to pay down this loan doing it the bank's way, I'm only going to pay it down by $30.84 in the first year. Do I have to pay that $30.84 over 12 monthly installments?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to them extra money all on line 1?
Yeah.
And be paid down to line 12 on my amortization schedule in 1 month for just $30?
Okay, so let me understand. You would
go ahead.
Because I'm still thinking of the $50 payment, but you're just referencing the $250 or the $2, $51, $53, $50.
Right.
So you're just paying that $250, $150, $250. Where does that interest go? Where extra $47.50 go?
That is canceled. You mean?
Oh, are you kidding me?
No. Like, when you get your syllabus at the beginning of the semester, and it says, okay, your classes are supposed to meet here, here, here. And then the professor got sick and couldn't make it. So they tell you your class is what? Canceled. It was scheduled, but now it's canceled. So this interest is scheduled every single month. But when you pay the principal amount early, the interest gets canceled. You never have to pay it.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So now if I make my regular student loan payment of $50 in January, and I give the bank that extra $30.84 in January, I'm paid down to line 12 where I would owe $9,469.16. I would owe the exact same thing, but I would do it in 1 month instead of 12. So normally the bank would want me to do it their way and pay them $569.16. But by doing it this way, I only have to pay them $47.50 in interest to do the exact same thing. I just gave them the money early. So do you think I could find $30.84 somewhere?
I do, yeah. You know what? I think in my mind, I always think of the payment. I feel like the payment doesn't go away, and I'm just learning now that the principal and the interest. The principal is mandatory, and the interest is compulsory. It's like it doesn't have to be paid if you know how to get around it.
And this is what my Asperger's has done for me.
I love it.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.